Hey everyone, my name is Chris, and this is the Teacher's Lounge. Now if you're like me, your 2-year-old daughter has her own stuffed toy pathogen. Kinda cool, isn't it? But also if you're like me, you probably very frequently teach games to your group of friends and family. So the Teacher's Lounge is a segment where we talk about teaching recommendations. So why am I holding this toy pathogen, probably covered in lots of real pathogens, for my daughter? Well, that's because we're talking about empowering role models that are good for all of us. So today's game is this: Pandemic: The Cure, a dice-based version of the original Pandemic, still designed by Matt Leacock. I really like this one because dice control the player actions as well as the disease cubes, determining where they go out. It's a little bit quicker than the original, and it's a little bit luckier, but it's still just as fun, I think, and plays, like I said, a little bit faster. And I like teaching this one. Part of the reason I like it is because the players' unique characters are a little more distinct because their dice are all different. So my recommendation when you teach this game, however, is to teach the things that are consistent for all characters before you go into what's unique for each one. Now this would apply to many cooperative and competitive games where each player will have a unique player power. And so on a given turn, you'll roll your dice and you can do things like move and treat diseases by putting them here into the middle, or by spending your treats to take them out of the middle and put them back in the dice bag, removing them from the immediate threat. You can also use bottles like this to grab diseases that are in the middle, so you can try and roll for a cure later on. These are die faces that are common amongst every character in the game. Then, after you've taught all of those ideas, then is when I would go into what makes each character special. The scientist, for example, the white pawn, gets a +2 to her roll when she tries to roll for a cure for a disease. The contingency planner has a die face that is completely unique only to his bluish teal colored dice. And so the same thing with the contingency planner, who can remove a bunch of the dice from this middle pool here and get them out. And the dispatcher here, for example, also has a unique die face, which is a helicopter ability. Also, the dispatcher has some unique different powers. So for example, if the dispatcher moves from one continent to another, he can also drag one of the players with him. And so those are cool things, but you want to teach those after you've taught the general, normal, shared actions that everybody has, because then it'll make it more clear, it'll make it easier to grasp once you have a better idea what the whole picture is like. So teach the things that are generally true and generally applicable, then you go into the specific areas that are going to be unique and distinct for each person. That'll make the teaching flow better. That'll make each person also feel cooler when you say, hey, here's all the rules. P.S. You get to break the rules this way. You get to do this really nifty thing. And so everybody then feels more empowered, which is what this episode's all about, right? So that's my teaching recommendation for this game. And like I said, there's tons of games that I'm sure that this would apply to. So leave in the comments below games that you think that this would be a great recommendation for. If you have more recommendations that you'd like me to cover, let me know. I'll be responding under the name Meeple Overboard. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your stay at the Teacher's Lounge, and stay a friend of the blend.